Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Tom, you've got brothers, right?
Yeah, I've got 2.
Would you say you podcast better when your brothers are around?
Yeah, I do. They've come to the live show before. We're Greek. And so when us Greek brothers are together, we stick together. They get the most out of us.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, we go, Opa, whenever we're together. That's how I imagine every day at your house. Opa!
Yeah.
Breaking plates. Opa!
Something like that. Yeah.
It's the cold Opa!
Oh.
Why'd you bring up the fact that you guys are Greek?
Oh, because I was watching this Jeff Teague video and...
Of course you were. Do you have Wake Forest content streaming 24/7?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't? I mean, Jeff Teague is that good. Are you denying the greatness of Jeff Teague?
Who is the guy? It was like a Lithuanian guy that went to...
Darius Sangala.
Darius Sangala. There you go. Yeah. He's a Darius Sangala podcast somewhere.
And he's a legendary head coach now. He's going to be the next great head coach in the NBA, I'm sure. Who had James Johnson on their bingo board of going to play 20 years in the NBA? Come on.
I did, because I thought he would just threaten anyone who would try to cut him.
So this is turning into a James Johnson podcast? Let's do it.
Look, man, let me just say this right now. You tell me who the brave soul is going to be and say, hey, James, we're not bringing you back next year. Go ahead.
We might have to do an entire podcast on James Johnson just so that we won't get beat up by James Johnson. But he played with this guy, Jeff Teague, at Wake Forest, a college program that, once again, did not make the NCAA tournament. Very upset about this. And also declined the NIT. It's neither here nor there. So Jeff Teague gets on the podcast and explains this story about the power of brotherhood.
Honest brother, when we went down 0-2, he had COVID, so he couldn't come to the plane. That's why we went down 0-2. Giannis was messed up. Like him and his brother, bro, they got some different kind of connection. He can't function or play if he don't see his brother. I'm being for real. It's different, bro. He was like, where TA at? Where TA at? We in the middle of the game. I'm like, bro, we in the finals, bro. Play, like, where T at? Where T at? So TA make this magical, like, COVID recovery. I know he still had it. No way, bro. It's 14 days, bro. He's back in 3. He's back. His energy was, like, contagious. Like, he running in the locker room, COVID, everything. He got yelling, screaming. I'm like, yeah, he matters. Like, he makes a difference for our team. When he's not here, something's not clicking. But when TA was there, he made it. Like, he mattered. And then somehow, he's in the locker room. He does all that. When a parade comes, He hasn't ride by himself because he got COVID. Bro, we all sick, bro, at this point.
Who cares?
Yeah, I was like, bro, there's no way y'all got him riding by himself now. And he just was in the locker room.
I've heard this clip. I've heard this story before. Haven't heard it with the eerie guitar background, bam, 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 which is what the internet does when they want to repurpose content appeared somewhere else. Just put a weird guitar in it. Boom, 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 boom.
Sounded eerily like Steven Seagal's blues guitar during his videos about his upbringing.
That's right.
Suspicious.
Raise your hand if you forgot that Jeff Teague was on that championship team.
Oh. It's amazing.
I completely forgot that he played on the Bucks. He did. I remember it now. Number 3. He cleared the protocol and nobody in the league really cared.
Yeah.
His energy was contagious is by far my favorite line. It's all worth it for that.
I loved that line. Is the shitty guitar music a way to screen or block any sort of copyright claims?
Maybe. I mean, I guess it is in a roundabout way, but it's just so that the owner of said video can't be like, yo, you took our clip and called it your own.
Yeah.
But also, I think it does well on TikTok because there's a lot of videos like that where they use the boing, 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 that music, which is basically basketball Illuminati-esque. It's also from Blade Runner.
I'm torn here because on one side you have Jeff Teague, former Demon Deacon. And on the other side, you had Chris Paul, former Demon Deacon, vying for the championship.
Yeah.
The elusive ring. Also, I'm torn 3 different ways. My Greek brothers.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here and be like, Thanasis should not be allowed to play because he's in COVID protocols and that's breaking the rules. That's unfair. But then on the other side, I got Chris Paul, who's the greatest player ever to not win a championship. I'll go to my grave with that.
You'll go to your grave by yourself? Lonely.
With all my 17 other alums.
Lonely and wrong.
So this is where I get a little difficult because I don't know how to interpret the fact that I don't think this story is true.
What? Which part? They were down 0-2, they came back and won, and then Thanasis had to ride at the parade by himself.
Because his energy was contagious.
Well, maybe misinformation is contagious and it reached all the way over to ESPN.com because as I'm looking this story up, I find out that Thanasis Antetokounmpo entered COVID protocols, will miss Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Game 5, the Milwaukee Bucks won. They won the final 2 games of that series. The way I hear the story from scholar from Wake Forest, Jeff Teague, is that he missed the first 2 games of the series due to COVID protocols, came back, and then Giannis was put back together, made whole with his family being in tow, and won the next 4 games. But the way that actually worked was Thanasis played in Game 3 in a blowout game, and then missed Game 5 and 6 due to COVID protocols. And it would make sense that he was on his own float or his own bus during the parade because he missed the final 2 games due to COVID and he would still be in COVID protocols. So I don't know what to believe. And maybe it's when the legend becomes fact, print the legend here. Right, guys? At a certain point, maybe Jeff Teague is right because he made the legend.
Yeah, this shows us the power of storytelling. Where's TA? Where's TA? They won that game where TA was not there. Giannis can play without his brother. They won Game 5.
Just to be clear, we're saying that TA was on the roster and with the team for games 1 and 2 when they lost.
Where's TA? Where's TA?
He wouldn't have been in COVID protocols again in the same series.
He's on the box score DNP CD.
Amazing. Not only did he catch COVID later, but they lost the first 2 games while TA was there.
This is not amazing for me, though. This feels very dirty, what I just did. I'm discrediting Jeff Teague, who's telling an amazing story.
Wow, you heard it here first. Beef between Demon Deacons.
No.
Tom Haberstroh calls out Jeff Teague.
Liar. That's the headline. This is what the AI is going to do, Tom.
Fake Forest.
Yeah. Quote liar. Quote fake Forest.
Can we delete this entire cold open? Can we delete it all?
Scheming Deacon.
My skin is crawling how mad I am right now for fact checking this story. Mace, thank you in advance. This is not airing. Great. Hey, so what are we going to do for our cold open today?
My assignment. Uncover why the association inspires more conspiracy theories in volume and salience than any other U.S. sport.
So you've heard of the Illuminati.
The truth is out there, but so are lies.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
The NBA has always been controlled by about 8 people.
Denial is the most predictable of all
normal human responses.
If you're only using 10% of your brain, you don't even know that you're using 10% of your brain.
The NBA Illuminati.
If coincidences are just coincidences, why do they feel so contrived?
The Illuminati.
But you start to follow the money, and you don't know where the f*** it's going to take you.
It is unspoken. They have influence among other players.
The NBA Illuminati.
I don't have time for your convenient ignorance.
Maybe I'm a conspiracist now as well.
That's all it took. Oh, we got books, we got schools. You saw a video on YouTube.
Why am I eyes, sir? You've never used them before.
We are the Basketball Illuminati.
This is Basketball Illuminati. I am Tom Haberstroh, and as always, I'm joined by the 5-star Illuminarmy generals Amin Elhassan and super producer Anthony Mays.
Members of the Illumination can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/countthedings. You can also show your support by wearing a Third Eye hat or a Basketball Illuminati shirt or hoodie. Check out the link in the show notes or go to the Count the Ding store on Cotton Bureau and keep that third eye open.
We've got a new owner syndrome on our hands. Matt Ishbia.
Do we?
Oh, yeah. We're going to fact check that.
Okay.
No one will have ever heard of the cold open that never was, where I fact check something. Right, Maze? You deleted that for sure, right?
For sure.
Okay.
Tom Assis.
We're going to talk about new owner syndrome, and we're going to do our own research on Matt Ishbia and the rest of the owners that have recently taken over the NBA later in the episode. But first,
you are listening to The Agenda with Amin Elhassan and Tom Haberstroh.
I feel like we should reevaluate this whole 65-game rule, the player participation policy, these new rules implemented by the NBA to curb all these stars missing games and try to increase player participation.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see this? Lauri Markkanen and the Utah Jazz got fined $100,000 for violating the player participation policy.
That ought to teach them a lesson.
Literally did not, because what they did a couple days later was they suited up Walker Kessler, maybe their best player right now.
Yeah.
And decided to skirt the player participation policy rules by not listing him on the injury report and then saying, we're just not going to play you.
DNPCD, it happens.
Yeah.
Asthenosis.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Maze, we deleted that.
Oh.
The audience won't understand that reference.
Sorry. My fault.
Look, I don't see what the big idea is here, Tom Haberstroh and NBA. So the guy wasn't playing. Look, Coach Will Hardy, who's one of the brightest up-and-coming coaches, according to some people who are out panhandling on the wall now. He's judicious. He knows who gives him the best chance to win every night. And maybe he looked at the opponent. Who was the opponent, Tom?
The opponent was the juggernaut Toronto Raptors.
There you go. Why would I need a center against the Raptors? I need more smaller guys. I'm with you, Will Hardy. You got it. Since you come with the seal of approval of someone who's now selling their cell phones and credentials, I believe you. I think that was the right way to go.
This was an amazing game. March 14th, beware the Ides of March. Pi Day. Utah Jazz, Toronto Raptors. If you look at the box score, you might not realize that anything was afoot in this game, but
open your third eye.
Lauri Markkanen played 18 minutes. 16 points in 18 minutes and 37 seconds. Did not play in the second half. Scotty Barnes played 24 minutes. Played 2 minutes in the fourth quarter with Emmanuel Quickley, 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, and RJ Barrett, 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. That's because it was a blowout. No, it wasn't a blowout. This is a game that went all the way down.
Sometimes 2 minutes is all you need, Tom.
Speaking of Quickley.
I'm Manuel.
So Scotty Barnes, basically they benched him for the stretch, the clutch minutes against the Utah Jazz that benched Walker Kessler for all of those 48 clutch minutes and 24 of those clutch minutes with Lauri Markkanen. But my favorite thing was a couple days later against the Blazers, Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl were playing so well that, look, you don't want to risk any injury. And according to Jason Kidd, this is a no-rest league. They just wanted to say, Jason Kidd, watch this. And Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl did not play in any of those minutes in clutch situations. Last 5 minutes, game was super close, went back and forth, and Scotty Barnes waving a towel on the bench, all excited. And I'm like, hey, why isn't Emmanuel Quickly playing in this game?
Well, Tom, the schedule is grueling. And we talked about this last week where, because of the NBA Cup, everyone's schedule is very compressed around this time of year. There's a lot of games in a short amount of time. You got to give these guys a breather every once in a while. Again, I don't see anything wrong. Also, my favorite website is tankathon.com because it's got Utah #1 with a green lost 9 highlight.
Yeah.
They're doing great, according to tankathon.com. That was just an aside. It has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, okay. March 12th, Toronto against Philadelphia. Emmanuel Quickly didn't play.
Bad cheese stick.
Cheese was off. The fake cheese was actually curdled.
Yep.
Day before, no game. Day after, no game. And I present this because if you look on the injury report for that game, Toronto versus Philadelphia on March 12th, Emmanuel Quickly was out due to rest.
Restaurant. That rest is short for restaurant, and that's from the bad cheesesteak.
Yeah. So that passed on the protocols. And Utah was investigated that Lauri Markkanen was rested a couple weeks ago. But I haven't seen whether they've been investigated for the Walker Kessler DNP CD, and I don't think they will because that was just a straight up, oh, look, the Toronto Raptors are playing really good basketball lately. We don't match up well against that team. And Lauri Markkanen, former All-Star, also does not match up well. So they had what the fans wanted, which all the best players didn't play down the stretch.
Well, I think the problem, Tom, if there is a problem, and again, I, as a big proponent of tankathon.com, don't think there's a problem. I think just sometimes things happen and guys just happen to rest with the day before and the day after. And sometimes Walker Kessler's available, but the shrewd chess master chooses not to play him. But the real problem, you're asking why any of these other circumstances haven't been adjudicated in any way, is because of the player participation policy itself. You see, folks, the policy says nothing about you got to play all your best players or even some of your best players or even a best player. It strictly talks about stars. And the NBA defined stars for the first time ever in the damn near 80-year history of this league. What's a star? Well, the NBA said, I'll tell you what a star is. A star is anyone who's been an all-star or all-NBA for the previous 3 seasons. So Emmanuel Quickly can sit out every single game due to bad cheesesteak. According to the league, it doesn't matter. Walker Kessler, it doesn't matter. Lauri Markkanen, though, you watch your ass, young man, because you were an all-star a couple of years ago.
Listener, listen up. This is important, okay? I'm going to try to save you some money here. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. You may think like, oh, that's bad. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. You heard that correctly. $15 per month. Ditch overpriced wireless and the jaw-dropping monthly bills. And of course, there are all these hidden fees and stuff, but at Mint Mobile, plans start at $15 per month. All the plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text. You're not doing like weekend and nighttime minutes or anything like that. And it's delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone. Don't have to get a new phone. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. I switched months ago. People have asked, did you actually switch? Yes, I actually switched months ago, and I don't know what to do with all this extra money. I've cheated the system here. I've rigged something. This is an Ocean's 11 situation where I'm stealing wireless from Mint. That's how good a deal it is. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/dings. That's DINGS. That's mintmobile.com/dings. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Quince and their cookware. Cooler nights mean cozy meals at home, and Quince's cookware has made fall cooking so much more enjoyable. Their pieces deliver the quality and performance of luxury brands, but at a price that makes sense. And they look gorgeous on the stovetop, too. No matter what item you need to complete your kitchen, Quince has you covered with 5-ply stainless steel pots and pans, non-stick skillets, chef-quality knives, and even ceramic bakeware, which is perfect for cozy casseroles or Sunday roasts. And when you look at these prices, you might think, how is Quince doing this? How do they deliver high-quality items similar to high-end brands that are half the price? Well, let me tell you, they partner directly with ethical top-tier factories to cut out the middlemen and pass the savings on to you. And it's not just cookware. I got myself some bath sheets. That's right. When you're a tall man, you have to use bath sheets, not bath towels from Quince. It's like drying off with a cloud. It's incredible. Upgrade your kitchen for cozy fall meals with premium cookware from Quince. Go to quince.com/dings for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dings, DINGS, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dings. Hello, listener. It's producer Maze here to talk to you about Kindred. Now, close your eyes like Owen Wilson during a job interview and imagine a way to travel that feels personal, comfortable, and connected without the price tags and the sterile feelings of hotels or short-term rentals. Now open your eyes and stop using your imagination because Kindred has made it very real. That's exactly what they do. Kindred is a members-only home swapping network. It's not a hotel. It's not a short-term rental. It's a smarter way to travel where each stay feels like home. Here's how it works. With Kindred, your home is your ticket. You earn credits by hosting fellow Kindred members, and then you use those credits to stay in over 220,000 homes in more than 100 cities worldwide. There are no hotel costs or rental fees, just the credits that you've earned. Every stay comes with white glove service, 24/7 trip support, and $100,000 in host protection. Make it easier for you to travel and enjoy yourself and not worry about details. I've used Kindred and I found an amazing home for a weekend getaway in an idyllic location with amazing views and great ambiance. It had everything I needed. And the best part was, it cost me $0. So apply now at livekindred.com and use code DINGS to join for free. Plus, you'll earn 5 nights of travel credit just for signing up. That's right, that's 5 whole nights for free at livekindred, KINDRED.com, code DINGS, DINGS, livekindred.com, code DINGS.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like expecting the leadership of a team captain on the football field, but getting a sea captain. You wouldn't settle for just anything for your team. Shouldn't it be the same for your insurance? So don't settle for just any insurance when you can go with a leader. State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac Extra Value Meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
Well, if you've got an all-star and you don't want to play him and you don't want to get in trouble with the player participation policy.
The PPP.
Is there a way around that? Maybe you should shut him down for the year?
Ooh.
With the pinky surgery like De'Aaron Fox?
Well, I mean, there must be something wrong with his pinky finger if a player was to be shut down, right? That wouldn't have anything to do with a thank with no H, right?
Well, Article 2, Section B says, star player stops playing or in the judgment of the league office begins to play a materially reduced role in circumstances affecting the integrity of the game. Part C says a star player misses 1 or more games in any other unusual or atypical pattern. Here's the problem. They have a legitimate injury that they can point to.
Point with their index finger. They can't point to it with the pinky finger, right?
Pinky finger. Now, it's worth mentioning that this injury was discovered. When do you think it was discovered, Tom?
Oh, surely he got hurt and then played through it for a few games, really struggling, and they just said, you know what? I can't do it anymore.
You're absolutely right. He got hurt and then he played through it for the entirety of the season. This injury occurred during training camp.
Wait, you pinky swear?
That is a few games, depending on how you define a few, in the same way that guys are stars, depending on how you define the word star.
Slightly more than a handful of games.
It's a few.
Clearly, it was bothering him a lot because he scored 32 points and had 11 assists and 9 boards to defeat the Mavericks the day before they ruled him out for the season.
Would have had 35. Would have had the triple-double if that darn pinky. Again, I see nothing wrong here, guys. Much ado about nothing is what you guys are doing.
You know, what's interesting is the Dallas Mavericks they might run out of players here. And sure enough, this is a rock and a hard place. Anthony Davis really wants to come back and play. And they're like, no, we're going to take our judicious time here on your injury, adductor. But the problem is they need players. So it comes out that Anthony Davis is now suiting up for the G League to try to get back into playing games.
So here's the crazy thing. And I got to shout out Bobby Marks because he had a great video about this that I watched over the weekend. The Mavs are in a really weird predicament in that they are so legitimately injured, they might not have enough players to field an active roster for a game. Because here's the deal. Number one, lots of guys injured. Number two, your two-way guys have almost exhausted their entire allotment because the way it works is you get 50 games as a two-way guy to be on the active roster. Doesn't matter if you never played. So Kessler Edwards and Brandon Williams both have been on the active roster for a while. They're in their high 40s in terms of that usage, even though they didn't play 40-plus games. They're about to be out of here. So then you say, well, we'll just go get someone from the G League, right? Or a 10-day or something. Here's the other problem. Because they utilized the sign and trade in the offseason for Klay Thompson, to acquire Klay Thompson, they are automatically hard capped at the first apron. You see, the NBA didn't want teams to use non-taxpayer mechanisms and then later on in the season, say, well, things change and I decided to be a taxpayer anyway. So in order to curtail that, they said, look, you can use these non-taxpayer mechanisms as long as you promise to not be a taxpayer for the whole year. The way they do that is they put a hard cap at the first apron. Of course, the first apron is above the tax, so you might still actually pay tax money.
Wow.
But you can't get too high over it, right? So between that and then the Luka deal and the Quentin Grimes deal, in which they sent out less money than they took back coming in the form of Caleb Martin, they exhausted almost all of their space under the hard cap. $51,000 is all that remains, meaning they can't sign a prorated minimum or a 10-day to field an active roster until, I think, late March or maybe even early April. What does all this mean, ladies and gentlemen? You're like, okay, I mean, so what? Well, if you don't have enough healthy players and you can't sign any healthy players, so basically your active roster is below a certain threshold, the NBA says you can't play the game, which means you forfeit. Now, I've been in the league a long time. Bobby Marks a little longer than I. Neither of us can remember an instance of a team having to forfeit a game. Forfeit a game, that is the highest level of tanking, perhaps? I would say that, except Dallas is 13th. And they've got quite a ways to go before they can improve their odds significantly.
They've really confused everyone. They've dazzled everyone with their ability to tank in a way that they've depleted their roster. It reminds me of the 49ers against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game when both their quarterbacks got injured and then they didn't have a quarterback. And then they had to put Brock Purdy out there with a bum arm. So the NFL put in a new rule that you can have an emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
And the NHL has a goalie program where if your goalie is hurt, there's a goalie in a city that can get pulled up to play for you. Maybe the NBA needs to put in a new emergency protocol just because of what the Dallas Mavericks have done this year.
So Bobby Marks actually addressed that. And here's the interesting part about it. You could do that, except for the fact that the teams behind the Mavericks trying to catch up, so namely Portland and Phoenix, don't want that. They don't want a get out of jail free card because in their minds, this was the open door they needed to make one last push for the play-in tournament, unless you're the Phoenix Suns, in which case that open door slammed shut by losing embarrassingly to the Lakers on Sunday, in which Kevin Durant and Mike Budenholzer engaged in another shouting match. Don't know if you guys know about that one, but yeah.
There's nothing to see there. That's healthy conflict. I mean,
can I read a quote?
Yes.
Please.
Kevin Durant just yelled out mid-play, relax, coach. How many fucking play calls you going to call? And coach just put his hands up and it was like, okay.
Oh, no. I surrender. Oh, man. We need more of that. So Dallas forfeits games because nothing ever happens poorly with Anthony Davis trying to rush back early for injury. So we'll see what happens there, right? But this has been going a long time in the NBA. I mean, the idea of tanking, no matter what the NBA tries to do to curb tanking, it's still going to be alive and well, I feel like. I mean, maybe the only thing that they could do is get rid of the lottery altogether or the incentive structure to lose and have every team that doesn't make the playoffs have equal odds to win number one overall. What would happen if that were the case? Have teams tanking out of the playoffs so that they could get a number one overall pick?
Yes. So number one, you've disincentivized anyone towards the end of the playoff picture. See, the reward of making the playoffs is nowhere near the reward of perhaps getting Cooper Flag. Well, I mean, let's be clear. I don't think this is a problem. We fixed it. We created a society in which the Blazers and the Suns, the hope is still alive. The dream is still alive. The Hornets, the Wizards, and the Jazz, they've been terrible all year long, man. What are we doing? Oh, now the Jazz are tanking? They've been terrible all year long. The Sixers, look, man, life handed them a shit ton of lemons. Some would say they went lemon picking themselves. I don't think we need any fixes. I think that we've already repaired it with the play-in tournament. I think tinkering with the odds anymore is just going to tip the balances. If there are teams that are willing to bunt on a year, punt, bunt, sacrifice, bunt, sacrifice, punt, one of those two, do that for an entire year, that's fine. There are negative costs associated with that, right? Ticket sales, ratings, concessions, all your BRI starts to go down. And by the way, there's no guarantee because as I look at the big board here, is Cooper Flag someone I want to risk my whole life for? You're damn right I do. Is Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper? I mean, they couldn't get their team to the NCAA tournament. They're good players, but am I going to tank my business, my job if I'm the GM? For what? I think inherent costs are high enough for anyone who wants to pursue that.
Well, the Sixers are in a specific situation.
Yes, they are.
And who knew that Quentin Grimes would be swinging so many tanking scenarios? He could be on the Mavericks. He could be that last active player they need. But instead, he's in Philadelphia winning games for them basically by himself. Quentin Grimes has been averaging 29 points a game in March, 32.6 points per game in the last 5, culminating in a 46-point, 13-board, 8 3-pointer, all-career highs performance against the Houston Rockets on Monday night. Oh, and by the way, Paul George has been ruled out for the season, according to Shams Charania. While the Sixers are, as we record, square in the middle of Brooklyn and Toronto, sitting at the 6th.
The 6th?
6th pick, that is.
Mm-hmm.
That could fluctuate at any time. And of course, they need to stay 6th or higher in the draft in order to keep the pick. Otherwise, it goes to OKC, thanks to that Al Horford salary dump back in 2020. They're in the news for things like Daryl Morey telling our friend Pablo Torre that, yeah, I use AI.
When you're making a decision, and insert your favorite Sixers decision here, are you asking an LLM for their input?
So we two answers there. We absolutely use models as a vote in any decision, and how much of that decision depends on, how much the assumptions behind those models don't change, and their past success rate. So if you have a highly successful model for picking draft picks, and we think that the game, Evan hasn't changed the rules yet, and so the game isn't changed.
Evan Wash, who's in charge of the league office,
thank you,
of defeating you.
Yes. Then the models get a lot of weight in those decisions.
And getting called out for liking Kesha's Instagram posts.
Yeah, that one was a weird one. I saw that the guys on the Pat Beverly pod were talking about that. And look, is there a more effective way to tank than to have a GM who's so checked out? He's liking ass pics on Instagram. Liking them. He's not doing what us good Christian folk are doing, which is scrolling, looking, maybe even sharing it to our friends.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting his name on. He's interacting with that like button. And for all those who said maybe his hand slipped and he accidentally, your algorithm, my friend, as someone who has an algorithm, I can tell you, your algorithm would not randomly present you that material to have your finger slip and double tap on.
Well, maybe we'll get Zach Harper to address this on this week's Do You Believe, but he's done his own research and knows for a fact that Daryl Morey has been liking Kesha Instagram posts for a long time. This is not a new thing. This is not just during the tanking run. This is a long time Daryl Morey Kesha interaction.
To be fair, if there were any GM in the NBA who would run the long con in a tanking job, wouldn't you pick Daryl Morey above all else?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sam Hinkie.
No, Sam Hinkie doesn't have the personality or the touch. This is a pro right here.
Doesn't have the technology or the steady hands to pull off an operation like that. So, peace.
What does that look like? You doing your own research? Are you doing studies yourself? Are you in the lab on a nightly basis? What are you doing?
Do your own research.
Do your own research.
Do your own research.
Do your own research.
Doing your own research.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not here to tell everyone that this is it. For me, it's just giving everyone a chance to do their own research and find their own knowledge.
We mentioned the Mavericks, guys, and maybe we need to do our own research about how bad this Dumont family, or I should say the Adelson family and Dumont, Patrick Dumont, who's the acting governor who married into the Adelson family, billionaire family with the Las Vegas Sands, the Venetian, etc., and Macau.
Can we start calling him Tom Whamsgams?
Yes. Then who's his cousin Greg?
Is that Nico?
Oh. Is it Nico?
Oh.
Nico's cousin Greg?
Oh boy, the Disgusting Brothers are back in Dallas.
Disgusting Brothers.
The disgust of us.
So, I hear you've made an enormous faux pas, and everyone's laughing up their sleeves.
Greg, Nico.
Yeah, now I can't shake it.
What are we doing here? Nico? We're going to do Wobbs Games the entire segment. No, we're not. We're going to try to go as long as we can without doing it. I'm tempted here to call the Adelson family takeover of the Dallas Mavericks the worst case of new owner syndrome, NSO, that we've ever seen in NBA history. Am I wrong about this, guys? Am I wrong about this being the nastiest case of NSO?
Why'd you say that like Trump? Nasty.
Did I?
It's a nasty case of NSO. Look, it's up there.
It's certainly off to a blistering start. There's a couple things that could happen in the next 2 to 5 years that would really put it over the top. But right now, they're on pace for a historic new owner era.
Here's the only way I'll give them grace. And this is not a defense of the deal. I'm just saying, if everybody was healthy,
oh God,
they'd be all right.
Yeah.
They'd be okay.
That's not their fault.
If street clothes wasn't in street clothes, it would be all right.
If Jeff Stotts wasn't stalking them with a scythe and a hood, they'd be all right.
And where does Jeff Stotts live? Just going to throw that out there. The Dallas Metroplex. That's right. Put 2 and 2 together. Connect some dots, folks. Who's the guy that benefits the most from a maximum amount of carnage?
He already came on the show and said his daughter was crying.
I know.
In tears about the trade. And now you're saying he's on the inside? The call is coming from inside the house?
What could be a more perfect defense? Oh, it wasn't me. Look, my kid is crying. You look at Jeff Stotts in the eyes. You tell me that guy's not a guy who would break his kid's heart just for a couple extra bucks.
I'm
on to you, Jeff.
Jeff, I don't watch Star Wars, so I don't know the reference here, but I feel like he just betrayed you.
Nope.
Amin just betrayed him. Yep.
Tom, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to do a Star Wars reference. Getting ready to say, Tom, you won't get this. Baze is going to get this. Do you know the story of Darth Sidious? What did Darth Sidious do, Maze? Darth Sidious was the bad guy, but what did he do?
Oh, man, he did so much, but...
The lightsaber? Vroom, vroom.
He tricked everyone into thinking that he was good.
He tricked everyone into thinking he was good. He was this nice, kind, gentle man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we got to do it this way, and I hate that we have to do it this way. And next thing you know, he's shooting electricity out of his fingertips.
Next thing you know, Order 66 and the Dallas Mavericks are dropping like flies.
Bang.
Wait, was there a literal lightsaber, or was I just incredibly lucky in saying that there was lightsabers involved?
There's always a lightsaber involved. You're safe with that one.
All right, cool.
Good save, Tom.
Nice.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
Through the Starbucks College Achievement Plan, full and part-time Starbucks baristas receive 100% upfront college tuition coverage so they can focus on achieving their dreams, not how they'll pay for school. And those dreams might start with a degree in management, biochemistry, or any of the more than 150 offered. At Starbucks, benefits like college tuition coverage are just the start. Learn more at starbucks.com/partners.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Unlock over $3,500 in business and travel value annually with statement credits on select purchases from brands like Dell, Hilton, and Adobe, and other benefits. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Based on total potential value of statement credits on select purchases and other benefits, enrollments required, monthly and other limits and terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
So what you're saying here is we got to give some grace to the Dallas Mavericks. This isn't the worst, nastiest case of NSO. Matt Ishbia is in for the running.
He is.
Trades for Kevin Durant. And then a year later, after getting swept in the playoffs, says, you ask the 29 other GMs in the NBA, 26 of them would trade places with us right now. And then they're on the verge of missing the play-in.
Tom, let me ask you a question. You keep saying NSO. What is NSO?
That's new owner syndrome.
And wouldn't that be NOS?
And I'm saying it backwards. It's not... Sorry. It's not new syndrome owner.
New syndrome ownership.
Why am I saying NSO?
Who owns this syndrome now? I'm a new syndrome owner.
NOS is what I meant to say. Oh my. Greg, come on. NSO. All right. So NOS, new owner syndrome. That was Bill Simmons. I mean, that is like bedrock material. Mm-hmm. When a new owner comes into the NBA, wants to make a big splash, and decides to put his stamp on the team, it inevitably results in disaster. They have this bravado coming in, like Matt Ishbia and like Patrick Dumont and the Adelson family. It seems like they throw money at all their problems. And Mikhail Prokhorov too, throw him in there. It's a disaster.
You know, it's funny. I don't like that term, new owner syndrome, because it pretends like being an old owner somehow makes you wise and not make these mistakes. We forget that the Lakers, who have the longest tenure, have a pretty long track record of doing the wrong thing. Now, I know you get a call in the middle of the night, someone says, hey, do you want one of the youngest 5-time All-NBA performers in the history of the league? That changes everything, but it does not erase the fact that this is a team that bumbles around for much of the 2010s, right?
Jim Dolan's not a new owner.
Yeah, there you go. What's his excuse?
Michael Jordan's owned 2 teams. Second time around wasn't that much better.
Gail Benson, does she even care? She owns the Saints. The Saints are the bread and butter. Does she care about the Pelicans? Or there's a lot of these things where I don't know that being an old owner helps. On the flip side, who is the new owner who got it right? Or got it right the quickest?
Well, I think that Mark Laurie and A-Rod were close. They had a real nice run last playoffs, 3 years after buying the team.
Well,
did they though?
Did they?
And then the old owner came reaching out of the depths like the Balrog, grabbed them with the whip and yanked them right back down with them. Glenn Taylor reared his ugly head, tied him up in litigation, and now they've traded Cat, and who knows? who knows if they will ever make a run to the Western Conference Finals again.
They might get KD from Matt Ishbia, and then it's reroutes all over again. But I think, Maze, what you just described there is old owner syndrome.
Yes. Old owner syndrome reemerged. They thought they had cured it, found the solution, but no, Glenn Taylor was not to be denied and mired the team in controversy during a playoff run.
In Charlotte, we have new owner syndrome, but Michael Jordan was out. That would mean that we should have kept Michael Jordan as the owner. And I'm sure, Amin, you would say, yeah, of course, he was a great owner for the Charlotte Bobcats and Hornets.
Great owner, the greatest of all time. But here's the funny thing. Their new owners, we did an episode about them, about how they're screwing up before they even got a hold of the team. It's quite interesting now that you think about it. As I go through this list, how many of these owners we've done an episode on? The Hornets, yes. The Mavericks, yes. The Suns, yes. Tillman Fertitta, yes. Steve Ballmer, yes. Vivek Ranadive, yes. Ted Leosis. Somehow we haven't done an episode on him.
Well, the no trade clause with Bradley Beal, I'm sure we've done content on that.
Glenn Taylor and Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry, yes. I think that might be it. No, Peter Holt, sorry, we did one on him too. It seems like it's not a new owner syndrome, and it's not an old owner syndrome, but perhaps it's just an owner syndrome.
OS?
Yes. Operating system owner syndrome. OSOS, where owners, or billionaires, I should say, just tend to fuck up. And any success that we see happens in spite of them and not because of them. Case in point, Dan Gilbert, who was not a new owner when he wrote his Comic Sans letter, who was not a new owner when he fired Ty Lue, even though we knew that Ty Lue was a great coach and this team just wasn't talented, was not a new owner for any of that shit. And now the Cavs are the best, perhaps the best or second best team in the league. Is it because of this owner or in spite of this owner? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the owner syndrome.
That's pretty good. OS. Or SO.
Yeah.
Syndrome owner.
That's true.
Yeah, so who would be the best owner that hasn't shown any sort of syndrome yet, that we're waiting for the syndrome to appear? Is there an expiration or some sort of COVID protocols? Remember, we're not referencing COVID protocols in this episode. Maze, if you want to delete that.
Okay.
Is there an owner that hasn't really shown its true colors yet? It's under the skin, hasn't really flared up?
Well, I've got a couple of nominees.
Okay.
I got an old nominee and a new nominee. I'm going to start with the new nominee. I don't think Ryan Smith, who owns the Jazz, has made any massive decision detrimental or beneficial. Like, I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying that, like, he hasn't succumbed. He hired Danny Ainge, which I think we all agree was a good move. And Danny Ainge then executed Order 66 on his roster by getting a zillion picks for Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. And now, as of this recording, they are in pole position to get the number one pick and get Cooper Flagg, who I can't imagine a market that would love Cooper Flagg more than Utah. So Ryan Smith, that's my new guy.
In that situation, you don't have to do well immediately as a new owner. You only have to not make a crippling move that prevents you from winning in the future.
Right.
They made future thinking moves in Utah.
The other answer, and I got to go way back for this one, but I'm fairly sure that Mickey Arison, his first thing was to hire Pat Riley, to hire him away from the Knicks and to offer him ownership, an ownership stake that Pat Riley no longer holds. But it might be the single best hire in the history of basketball. When you talk about what that did for that franchise over the next 3 decades, pretty good. And I don't think Mickey has ever gotten away other than sometimes tell them to shave some luxury tax off the top.
Do you sympathize with the idea that maybe his old owner syndrome is crippling the franchise now and not saying like, hey, we need to move into the future with Pat Riley, get a new guy in here? Because Pat Riley's out here saying, maybe I am washed. Is it possible that they need some new, fresh influences in there?
I don't know if it's a syndrome, though. Everyone gets a sniffle sometimes, right? Doesn't mean you're sick.
Okay, that's fair.
What do we do about Joe Lacob, though? Joe Lacob, who, in the oldest sourced new owner syndrome reference by Bill Simmons in his worst contracts column on Grantland from 2013, which is now a podcast every year where Wozni Lambre, our friend, picks Bradley Beal or Ben Simmons number one. He wrote about Richard Jefferson's 2-year, $21.2 million contract that the Warriors were felled by new owner syndrome. I like Joe Lacob. In the long run, he'll be fine. But when you give competitive billionaires an NBA team, they're rarely, if ever, patient. They want to win right away, and they're always going to plow right ahead with a couple of risky, splashy moves because they don't know any better yet. Wick Grousbeck, Mark Cuban, Ted Leonsis, Dan Gilbert. Name a new wave owner who wasn't a cheapskate. I'm looking at you, Robert Sarver, and I guarantee they battled new owner syndrome. For Lacob, the DeAndre, Bell, and Bogut Jefferson moves were his NOS moments. NSO moments.
So what he's referring to there was the amnesty of Charlie Bell in order to offer DeAndre Jordan, who was a restricted free agent, a hefty offer sheet that was matched very quickly by the Clippers, and then giving Richard Jefferson, who I must say, we played Richard Jefferson when he was at the Spurs and I was working for the Suns, and I remember watching him and thinking, oh shit, well I guess his career is over. That was in 2010. I thought, oh, well, it was a nice run. He had a good run, but it all comes to an end. And then he found something in himself, and he played for another 7 years or whatever after that.
Yeah, he would come back to defeat the Warriors in the NBA Finals a couple years after this.
Yes. Now, counterpoint to what Bill is saying there. Lacob bought the team in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
They won a championship in 2015. If he had new owner syndrome, he got over that shit real quick. Turns out he must have been immunized or some shit. Did he take some sort of booster shot?
The light years vaccine.
He's pretty right about Robert Sarver, though.
That was retrospect at that point. Like, this was 8 years into Sarver.
Yeah. We should talk about the 2021 NBA Finals. One of these days, we should talk about the Suns.
Yeah, someday. Should mention it.
Mace, put it on the calendar.
Okay.
One day we will talk about it.
Got it.
I actually thought about it. There is an immunization for new owner syndrome.
Yeah?
Really?
What's that?
Jerry West. Old Joe Lacob got a nice shot at Jerry West, and that cleared all that shit up real quick. Like Valtrex.
It worked for Jerry Buss.
Valtrex did, or?
Little Jerry West.
Oh, Jerry West.
Little Jerry West injection. Didn't work for Ballmer, though.
Well,
wait to see.
TBD.
They got out of Doc?
Or TDB. TDB. To be determined. We'll find out who wins the NAB championship. Okay? We'll see.
NABJ.
Guys, I can't believe this happened. On Pi Day, the Charlotte Hornets at San Antonio, 145 to 134.
Wow. Tanking works, guys. De'Aaron Fox out, give up 140 points to the Hornets, just like that.
To the Hornets.
Yeah, I bring this up because there's something we're tracking here at Basketball Illuminati. The rising tide of 140-point games that we were made aware of because of our intrepid listener informing the Illumination. On February 22nd, there were how many?
34.
We're at 47 right now as of this recording. So
okay.
We've gotten 13. Here's the list. The Denver Nuggets at OKC. The Thunder have like the best defense of all time. And they gave up 140 points. Minnesota, 141 against the Spurs. Houston, 146 to 117 against the Pelicans. Denver again with 149 in overtime against the Phoenix Suns. 149 to 141. Once again, OKC at San Antonio. I feel like San Antonio, do they have some overs that we don't know about? 3 games of 140 points or more allowed.
And they still have 16 games left on the schedule. How many more will they give up?
At this pace, season-long pace, 57, which would place them second all time.
Who's first?
Number 1 was last year. They had 76 last year. And that was so egregious that they had to like change the rules on the fly without telling anybody, except for us on this podcast spotted it. We were off air. So we did all these podcasts off air and it was never released.
Like our cold open.
Wait, what are you talking about? There's no cold open. We're not supposed to say that, guys. It didn't happen. So 76 last season, and it was so egregious that they had to change the rules on the fly and then take a victory lap afterward. Adam Silver at the finals saying how good the games were because there's more physicality. And then this year, we're seeing the rise of 140-point games. So I don't know what the storyline or the spin is going to be now, but on pace for 57. But if we use the last couple of weeks, we're having one every night. We're going to have close to 70 at this rate.
Make that 48, Tom, as the Rockets put up 144 points in overtime against the 76ers on Monday night. Will there be another 140-plus point game on Tuesday night? TDB.
Keep your third eye open.